I'd like to bring to your attention the harassment and misconduct I endured during my time at Lay Lake Fire Department. At the time that I started with the department, it was 2018, I was 17 years old. I spent much of my time after this point at the department or neighboring departments learning and soaking up as much information and knowledge as I could. I thought I'd found my passion, but it became difficult when members of my home department wanted more from me than what was in my job description. Yancey had, on more than one occasion, felt it necessary to inform me that he was paying attention to sensitive areas when I'd be in compromising positions while training or during classes. It forced me to be overly mindful of what clothing I decided to wear, even on hot days, knowing we'd be in turnout gear or training outside. I remember Yancey had messaged me one day, sometime after being with the department, claiming we needed to keep our relationship professional. Someone had said something to him about it, and I was really confused because I'd only ever seen him as a superior coworker and maybe friend. He had even found himself comfortable enough to ask me for pictures. I was young, and I may have just turned 18, and I'm ashamed that I let him manipulate me. But I really seen a future in this department, and I didn't want anybody keeping that from me. I have messages where he did later apologize for placing me in that position, but the comments and the looks and harassment never really ended. Dylan Jenkins was a bit of the same. During my time serving the community I cared about, I had to learn how to have thick skin, they told me. Many people did, and I tried. There was supposed to be camaraderie among the people that we served with, and I did what I could to find that. But I was met with something else. Dylan spoke very crudely of women often, bragging to me about how he cheated and neglected his wife time after time, telling me stories of his gross hobbies. This wasn't the language I thought I needed to thicken my skin for. On a different occasion, I was learning how to enter our documents for calls into the system on the computer in the office right there. The lieutenant was in charge of showing me how. While the two of us were in the office, the conversation became distracted from the task. He raised his hand on my thigh. He touched me without my permission. Chief Tim Butler was informed, and Dylan was asked to keep his distance with me. Some period after this, I realized this just may not be what I thought I wanted to do with my life. I've had enough sexual harassment and abuse in my past, and this isn't the environment I wanted for myself. After all this and being ditched by an entire class to finish my 160 certification, I decided to quit and move several hours away. I did not formally leave the department. I left my gear and I haven't been back. I wanted to separate myself from the entire thing. After almost 3 years of classes and training, all of the passion I had for the field had been taken from me, and I've yet to find the courage to serve with another department. I'd even been spoken to several times by Chief Tim Butler at the time that I had great potential to be the chief of this department myself. I was eager to become knowledgeable and enough to have experience enough to earn that title. I will likely not allow myself to have this opportunity again. I'm worried the abuse endured here will continue elsewhere. And I bring this all up now because I had hoped that these men would have learned something, but as Yancey has made an embarrassment of this department on social media, and the stories I began to hear of other young girls being forced to leave the department for extremely similar reasons, I felt some responsibility to help establish a pattern of abuse Yancey and Dylan have shown. Abuse of power and position for their own selfish gain, and I want to help establish the character of these men who want to lead their community. My concern is they have no real regard for who they serve, as Yancey has told me and several others of a Facebook page he runs under the name Silicaca Department of Memes, where he's been known to poke fun at people in this community struggling with addiction and poverty and sickness. This isn't a leader, and with what I've been through and being made aware, Yancey has a proven history of sexual abuse I feel responsible to speak of. I have, from my time here, recommendation letters. I have a police report that I filed, and all of my certifications. And I will leave this